Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Today I'm going to do the latest on the coronavirus, what's gone on, and any other notable names that have been tested positive for COVID-19. The latest on what's going on with the Olympics, American Idol from last night, and then we'll go ahead to tonight as well, and my top 10 artists of 2019 to close out the show. All right, we'll start with the coronavirus. The most notable name to be tested positive over the weekend was Harvey Weinstein. Obviously, a big star in the pop culture world. And hope he gets well soon. He used to be a film producer, obviously, and he 68 years old, and it's funny because he's actually in jail, and he was tested positive, so you could even get it in a jail for crying out loud. Like, this is a very serious thing, and I've been saying it the last couple of days that I've been doing this. This is the biggest story in the world. It's forcing a lot of things to be canceled and whatnot, and it's everywhere. Just keep washing your hands and just keep staying quarantined and keep social distancing as well. Over the weekend, Governor Murphy of New Jersey changed up the rules a little bit. Only essential businesses are open, non-essential businesses are closed. So that was something that came out on Saturday. Rand Paul, the senator from Kentucky, tested positive for COVID-19 as well. So hopefully he gets well soon. Governor Cuomo ordered all New York hospitals to increase their capacity by 50%. That is because obviously so many patients are sick and are being tested for it as well. So that makes sense. And he also announces drug testing plans and says supplies being dispatched to various areas. So that's placed with New York's governor had to say as well. All right, now I'm going to discuss the Olympics, and it was just announced moments ago that they are postponing the 2020 games likely to 2021 after it was announced that they're going to give them a 4-week period, and then Canada dropped. And Canada said, we're not doing this unless this is postponed. So this is likely to be postponed to 2021. So we're going to have back-to-back years with Olympics, it looks like. Summer 2021 and then winter 2022. So that is actually the funny thing that's going to come out of this as well. And then there's a lot of Pandora's box with the Olympics moving to 2021, or even if it took place in 2020. But what makes it interesting about 2021 is that the NBA might be changing its calendar for good. And that's not a done deal yet, but if it does, then the season goes into the summer. And obviously basketball's a big sport in the Olympics, but then again, hockey is a big sport in the Winter Olympics. But Gary Bettman last Olympic season, I think it was 2018 when we last had the Winter Olympics, he didn't send any NHL players to the games that year. So I wonder if Adam Silver is going to follow the same for Gary Bettman, or he's going to let his players go to the games like he did in 2016, and like how David Stern, the late David Stern, did when he was commissioner all those years before Adam Silver eventually took over. So the Olympics moving to 2021 opens up a lot of different boxes. I just mentioned like having back-to-back years with Summer and Winter Olympics, the potential of NBA's calendar changing, and whether Adam Silver would allow his players to go compete in the Olympics in the probably towards the end of the new NBA calendar if it indeed does change. Another thing that recently came out about the coronavirus as well that I want to mention before I move on is that there might be doing the NFL draft from a broadcasting studio instead of from Las Vegas. They already announced that the draft events, like the fan events, will be canceled. And now the rumor is that they might have a studio broadcast. I wonder if it's going to be from ESPN in Bristol or in New York somewhere where Get Up is taped. So, or possibly in Los Angeles where The Jump is. So there's a lot of options of what ESPN and the broadcasting studios may do for their draft coverage. And obviously Fox Sports has a New York studio and a Los Angeles studio. And they've been partners with the draft these last couple years as well. So I'm interested to see. Oh, and the NFL Network as well. They will probably do it from their studio, which is in, I believe it's in Hoboken, New Jersey, or is it Hackensack, New Jersey? But somewhere up there in North Jersey. So I wonder what they're going to do as well. So that's something else I wanted to bring up before I moved on. Alrighty. Next up, American Idol from last night. Good show. They were doing duos. A lot of these partnerings were very good in my opinion. Some of them were a little off. I wrote down a couple that stood out. Lewis and Francisco partnered up in saying break even by the script. They both went through. Francisco, I was didn't have faith that he was going to get through, but he somehow got through. I think these judges on this era of American Idol, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan, are way more easygoing than what it was 15 years ago with Paula Abdul, Simon Cowell, and Randy Johnson. I feel like that trio was very more strict, especially with the presence of Simon Cowell. But I think these guys are strict sometimes, but not all the time. But I feel like they're more easygoing on who they let through and what not, and who they believe in. Lauren and Leon partnered up. Lauren got through, Leon did not. Cameron and Ren performed Shadow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Cameron went through, Ren did not. I thought that Ren should have went through, so I think they made a mistake there. I have an issue with that. Hannah and Grace partnered up. Grace got through, Hannah did not. A duo of boys, Jimmy and Nick, they both went through. Jimmy, I don't think should have went through. There's just something about him. I didn't think he had his finest moment. I thought the best duo was performed by Olivia and Issa. They performed Pink song Try. They both got through. I thought that was the best duo of the night last night. So good on them for getting through. There is a partner duo, Madison and Peyton, that performed Don't You Want to Stay? And they both went through, but I had an issue with Peyton going through. I don't think he had his best performance. And I feel bad for the girl Madison because Peyton was just being lazy. He went missing for a half an hour, and they were showing her going to find him, and they eventually found him because he was in his hotel room eating chicken wings, which meanwhile he should have been practicing, but they still went through. They thought that Peyton had potential, so they let him through. I forget the female's name, and then there's a boy, Zach. They didn't go through. They sang Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. They did not go through. They had a hard time picking a song, so yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Landon and Perrin was a duo. They sang Pieces. They both went through. Faith and Jovan, I think, did a good job. They went through. Genevieve and Travis both made it through. Genevieve, unfortunate story for her. She auditioned a couple of years ago, made it through, but she got booted out in the Hollywood round. And her sister came with her to watch her perform. And in the next year, in 2019, her sister was killed in a car crash, and then Genevieve came back in 2020. And I was impressed with her. And the judges, I felt almost were going to let her go, but they let her through. Jeb and Alyssa performed Stay by Rihanna. Actually, two groups did that song. That group and then Elijah and Kimmy. Elijah and Kimmy both went through. Alyssa did not go through. Jeb did. Kat and Alex, I think, did a good job with their duo. Alex did not go through. Kat did. Johnny and Margie, obviously a couple. I think the most talked about idol couple on the show this year in terms of contestants. Obviously, Margie auditioned last year, and then this time around she brought her boyfriend Johnny. And obviously, controversy in the auditions that Katy Perry thought that Johnny had more potential than Margie. You could just tell Katy Perry doesn't like Margie at all. And it's really like, I don't want to say like against her per se, but I feel that Katy just isn't her biggest fan. So both of them go through. Sanaya and Michaela performed The Prayer. Really good duo. They made it through. Evan and Dylan performed Use Somebody. That was a good duo. They both made it through. Two very good singers, Lauren and Michaela, both went through. A partner duo, Robert and Tito. Robert went through. Tito did not. I think that Tito, I didn't have an issue with him going home. I didn't think he had his best performance. And then Chanel and then Just Sam. I remember Just Sam's audition. She was really good. They both went through. And then tonight is a solo round on the show, which I am very interested to see what goes down. Obviously, 2-hour show. I believe they picked the top 24 in this, the top 40 in this episode. Yeah, so 8 o'clock tonight. So now going forward, it's on both Sundays and Mondays. So that's pretty neat. So solos and then people I'm interested to see. Obviously, Margie and Johnny. I want to see if Katy Perry's statement holds true with them. I'm interested to see how far Just Sam goes. And then somebody else I'm really interested to see in how she does is Sophia Wackerman. I think she's the best contestant on the show. I think she's going to win. That's my early favorite right now. Obviously, she's the girl that lost her mother, Star. And this girl is really mature for her age. She's 20 years old. I'm interested to see how far she goes. And then Just Sam I spoke about earlier. Louis, I'm interested to see how far he goes. I like Lauren, who partnered up with Michaela. I'm interested to see how far they go. And then obviously that duo that made it through, even though they barely got the rehearsing time, Madison and Peyton. I'm interested to see how far that duo goes as well. So 8 o'clock tonight on ABC. Now I'm going to do my top 10 artists of 2019. I have an honorable mention and a top 10. My honorable mention is Ariana Grande. I think she had a good year last year. It just wasn't good enough to be in the top 10. She's obviously very talented and her future is very bright. 7 Rings and Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored were her two big singles off the album Thank You Next. In 10th place for top artists of the year, I have Luke Combs. I picked his song Beer Never Broke My Heart as my top song of 2019. But his album I picked 10th. This is a really good album. Beer Never Broke My Heart and Even Though I'm Leaving were the two big singles. off that album. In ninth place, I have Colin, who had a really good year this past year. Talk and Right Back were the two big hits off the album Free Spirit, and Saturday Nights off of the album Sun City. So a good year for him. In eighth place, Travis Scott. He had a good year in my opinion. A lot of good songs that he recorded off his album Astro World. Wake Up, and then his album Jack Boys, you had Highest in the Room, the remix, and Had Enough. So 3 really good singles for Travis Scott this year. Seventh place, Lil Nas. Obviously everyone knows Lil Nas because he is the singer of the hit song Old Town Road. And that's how everybody knows him. Obviously, Billy Ray Cyrus is in that song as well. Panini and Rodeo were other 2 singles off that album. Obviously, Panini was from last year. Rodeo was from actually this past year. So, good year for Lil Nas. Sixth place, Taylor Swift. Obviously, a really good year for Taylor. Me, You Need to Calm Down, and Lover were the 3 singles off of Lover that came out in the year 2019. Obviously, The Man came out this year off that same album. Fifth place, Lana Del Rey. She had a really good year last year. Norman Effing Rockwell is her album. A lot of big songs on there. Hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, but I have it. Doing Time. The Greatest is a very good song, and Norman Effing Rockwell. So, a very, very good year for Lana Del Rey, and I think she has a good future ahead of her. In fourth place, I have Halsey. She also had a very good year. Her album came out this year called Manic. A lot of good singles off this album. Graveyard, Clementine, Finally, Beautiful Stranger, and Suga's Interlude were the big singles off of that album. Third place, Billie Eilish. This girl is a mega star. A mega rising star. I think she's already a super duper star. I said last week she's a rising star. She's a super duper star. 18 years old. Obviously, the big album, When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? A lot of great songs off this album. 4 singles. Bury a Friend, Wish You Were Gay, Bad Guy, and All the Good Girls Go to Hell. All really good songs by Billie Eilish from this past year. Second place, Post Malone. He had a good season or a good year. Hollywood's Bleeding was the big album. Goodbye, Circles, Enemies, Allergic, and Take What You Want were the big singles from this calendar year off that album. And number 1 singer of 2019, Ed Sheeran. This guy is really talented, 29 years old. His album, number 6, Calibrations Project, is a mega album. The singles, I Don't Care, Cross Me, Beautiful People, Blow, Best Part of Me, Antisocial, South of the Border, and Take Me Back to London, all released from this calendar year. And they're all on the same album as well. So a very, very big time album by Ed Sheeran. He's a absolute star in the music industry, and his stock is going up. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to do some more coronavirus updates. I might do a sports countdown maybe I'll do top 10 NFL players of 2019. And then on Wednesday's show, we'll do albums. And then Thursday's show, we'll do baseball players. And I don't know about Friday's show. It's funny, I actually said that I was going to do 3 shows a week. But there's a lot of news and a lot of NFL free agency too. So that's why I've been still having some shows and keeping my listeners from being bored. So I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, maybe at night if I'm busy during the day. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.